How's everybody doing on this beautiful Sunday afternoon? I hope everybody's doing very well. I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. I'm in a undisclosed area of Florida for the weekend. So I just want to say hello to everybody and give my 2 cents on whatever's on my mind. Well, when I was on the plane down here, everybody was talking about age gap dating. And as an older man, my preferences are usually younger, and there's a reason for it. But I'll just go into what I heard on a broadcast of Jason Black when he was breaking it down that most most Gen Z who are in the dating market, they're not, especially the women, they are actually targeting older men. And, there's a reason for it, you know, especially men around my age who actually done the work, stack their chips, stack their money together, and, and now living an opulent life, a very comfortable life, which I am almost there with myself included in the set. I am almost there. I have no health issues. I have a little bit of money in the bank. I got properties. I got a business. So I'm good. I just never really got married. I don't have any children. And most of my friends, look at me and say, "Hey, man, how the fuck did you avoid that bullshit? How did you avoid the bullshit that I went through?" Well, I avoided it because I recognized raggedy women and I avoided them. I just avoided raggedy women, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. If they were raggedy, I just avoided them. If they started talking crazy to me, I avoided them. All right. But in my dating history, most of the women that I've dated were older, and I'm talking about tying up their tubes older. I'm talking about menopause. All right. The same group of women now when I'm at 50, in my 50s, I wouldn't even touch these women with a 10-foot pole, and there's a reason for it because they are heavily baggage people. And that's why it's always a good fit for old women with a young man. I mean, it's always going to be temporary. As long as you understand that it's going to be temporary, you're not gonna build a life with her. You're not going to have any children. You're not going to buy that two-family house and a picket fence, that two-story single-family house with picket fence and have 2.5 babies. That's not going to happen. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get that with an old bitch. All right. All right. What you're going to do? What you're going to get is premenopausal woman with hot flashes still talking about their ex-husband. Uh, Hopefully, we're at this point. They're raising grown, almost pre-teenagers or almost an adult children, and they ain't trying to be hoeing around. Well, they are, but they ain't. So, this is what you get. You're not gonna get a high quality woman with an old bitch. You're probably gonna because number one, if you check her history, she probably was never a high quality bitch. That's why she's not with her husband. That's why she's not with the father of her children. She's not with the man that she always wanted to be with because she was hoeing around. She was probably hoeing around like these modern women are doing right now, hoeing around. And most people say, yeah, they having sex, they're sexual freedom, but psychologically, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing because I can never take a woman seriously, and I can almost tell when a woman is sexually experienced. She ain't trying to have that man in her life. She's not trying to fall in love or anything like that. They usually want something out of that man. They usually want something out of you. See, fellas, this is what I tell everybody. This is what I tell all the young men out there. A woman always going to want something from you. And it's not, and believe me, it's not love, and it's not going to be your heart. Okay? And that's very rare if they do. And if they do, hold on to it. Don't mock them. Don't make fun of them. Just let them know. Just let them know where you are. See, y'all motherfuckers got to start being honest with these women. And there ain't nothing wrong with it. Let me just say this, man. Honesty is probably one of the best screening tools in dating. If you're up front with a woman, this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. I don't want to be monogamous. I want to be polygamous. I want to have not polygamous, but I just want to be poly. Because truth be told, anytime you run into a woman, she's in a poly relationship. That baby mama that you're with, she's now in a poly relationship with you. If she's in a relationship with you, it's a poly relationship. She's probably fucking one of their baby daddies, and you don't even know it. See, none of these hoes are gonna be loyal to you. All right. We're now living in a sexually free society, American society. And this is what I tell all you young men out there, you just have to adapt to it, because the traditional wife, the wife that's going to come home, that you are going to, that's marriage minded, that's marriage material. You ain't gonna find none of these women that are marriage material nowadays, man. Everything is transactional now. Okay? Relationships are transactional now. Even dating is transactional. All right? Just to get a chick, you got to spend $200 just to get a kiss on the cheek from a bitch. That's what some of y'all are doing. Y'all spending all that money just to get a kiss on the cheek. When y'all motherfuckers should use that $200 to buy a round trip ticket to Colombia. Okay? All right? Y'all should be passport bros now, because, they got the right idea. These brothers got the right idea. They just fucked it up by letting the cat out the bag. Because we all know in America, in the United States, all transactions, everything is a transaction, right? You gotta pay these bitches, man. You always gotta pay these bitches. If you're trying to get out of paying bitches, man, it ain't gonna work out for you. You gotta pay them. It ain't like they're gonna get rich off of your money. All right? See, I had that mentality. Coach Greg Adams, I was listening to one of his broadcasts, and he broke it down. These bitches don't make any money. When they take from you, they're just gonna smoke it up or spend it on bullshit. They're not buying houses with it. They're not buying commercial properties. They're not buying stocks. They're buying bullshit. Okay? So you're paying for an experience, and these bitches are using your money for bullshit. Because that's what I thought. That's what I thought 20 years ago when I left that bitch. I thought that bitch was going to get rich. But her life is still the same. She's in the same bullshit. She still got a bullshitted job. She's still high-signing bullshitting around. She's still struggling, like typical of all the bitches out there in the world. They're always struggling. Whenever they don't have a man around, they're going to be struggling. Trust me when I tell you this. Trust me when I tell you this, fellas. On the surface, they look good. They look like they got their life together. But if you really go down the rabbit hole of the bitch, they're struggling. They're always going to be struggling. So don't worry about paying a bitch. Pay that bitch. Just pay her. You're going to pay either way, on the back end or on the front end. But you're going to pay. And that's what happened to Shannon Sharpe. He didn't want to pay the bitch. That's what happens. He didn't want to pay well, first of all, he didn't want to pay the bitch up front. And the bitch thought the bitch thought she was in love with him. And then he found out he got caught on that Instagram live fucking Michelle, right? And then that's why he's in this trouble right now, because now all of a sudden she switched up. And now you gotta pay. See, I hate to break this down to y'all, fellas. Whenever you're dealing with a woman, the pussy ain't never gonna be free. All right? I don't know why y'all under the impression that, hey, man, I can get over on this bitch. Especially you brothers out there, man. Y'all brothers, y'all been known to trying to get over on bitches, man. And I can understand why they don't want to deal with us. Nobody wants to deal with us on the dating end. I get it. We're getting used for sexual purposes, but I can understand why. They don't take us seriously for a relationship. None of us. Black women, white women, Hispanic women, all types of women. They ain't trying to fuck with us. Okay? You always gotta pay. You're gonna pay eventually, on the back end or on the front end. And Shannon Sharpe is an example. He's paying on the back end because he was bullshitting with a bitch. That's it. Fuck around and find out with these bitches and see what happens. But let me go ahead and talk about age gap dating a little bit. And like I said, and let me say something about age gap dating. But see, I've dated older women. I've dated old bitches. Okay? Bitches that was older than me, I dated them. And it was cool. It was fun. It was all right. But I knew there wasn't going to be no future. I wasn't going to have babies with them. We weren't going to have no other child. We ain't going to grow old together. So that's why my preferences have changed over the years. I'm only dating 25 to 27-year-old women because I know I'm going to pay. You're going to pay with an old bitch anyway. So anytime you're dealing with a woman, you're going to pay, old, young or old. You're going to pay eventually. You're always going to pay because you're supposed to be the man. If you go overseas, okay, the man is always the head of the household. The man is always the leader. The man is always, looked upon highly upon the women in their family. Okay? Only in Black American society we're not really looked upon as a leader, and there is a reason for it, and I can understand why. But anyway, let's get back to the age gap dating. I don't have a problem with Shannon Sharpe dating a 20-year-old, a 56-year-old man dating 20-year-old. First of all, that's their business, and none of y'all should give a fuck about it. And I don't really give a fuck. But since I'm in my 50s, I'm going to let y'all know I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. If I'm show up hand in hand with a 25-year-old woman, just shut up, turn your head, and mind your business. All right? Because I'll tell you this story. I was on a cruise in March, right? And I was just talking, and I ran into this young lady. She was slightly younger, and we locked eyes, and we just started chatting for a little bit. And we started talking about dating, how I'm never going to date old women again. I'm only dating 25-year-olds. And she put it out bluntly and said, hey, man, well, a 25-year-old woman is going to run your pockets. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Like, I haven't got my pockets ran by somebody my age or older. All right. But it was so much fun. It was different because it was so much fun talking to her. Because for me, in my perspective, I kind of like talking to young people because it's so much fun listening to what they think, their ideas, what their future is, what their ideas of the future is. I like to listen to them. I like talking to them. All right? And I'm not here to give them any advice or anything like that because they have to figure it out on their own. But I enjoy, and that was the first time in years that I enjoyed a conversation with a woman. And it's so sad that it's somebody younger than me. Because I don't get along with old bitches. Okay? My age or 10 years younger than me, I don't get along with them bitches. Because they're heavily baggaged. Like this one 43-year-old woman I'm talking to, because she's a mess. At 43, she's a Calamity Jane. At 43 years old. And the only thing she can talk about is her family woes. And I'm like, bitch, can you talk about something else besides your punk ass ridiculous family? I mean, the only reason why if I were to get their side of the story, it'd probably be totally different than what you're talking about. And you can't get, at 43 years old and you're away from them and you can't get over it and you can't move past it? Something's wrong. You need to seek therapy, man. You need to move on and move forward with it, with your life. 43 years old, from Mississippi, with a University of Alabama degree, from Tuscaloosa, all right? And she came to New York to high sign bullshit. I'm gonna do it, and when I get back home with my cigar, with my podcast, you know, I'm back on my balcony. I'm gonna talk about the immature black folks, because a lot of y'all are so goddamn immature. And we're gonna straighten this out next week. But anyway, I gotta run. I got things to do down in Florida. I gotta go to the beach. And I hope everybody enjoy your Saturday afternoon, man. This is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here. And black folks, let's be careful out there, all right? And shout out to Double A Ron and Dan N. I see y'all, all right? Y'all be cool, all right? Talk to y'all later. Talk to y'all next week. Enjoy.